What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. So today we are looking at Southampton preview. Massive game within the Premier League. It's a massive game, but it doesn't feel like a massive game. It's Southampton.
Hello, everyone. Like Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory. It's fun with flags. This one's up the Villa. Right, new backdrop. Thanks to my wonderful wife for kind of getting me 2 little suction cups where I can kind of have a little bit of a background compared to my IKEA wardrobe. It's just makes me look like I'm dying.
This new angle that the guys that the comments have tried to get me into, it doesn't look as good. Like I can see this wall color here. You don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that in the shot.
Just move slightly to the left.
And then I've got this crappy little poster here. I need to work on this now. I'm gonna have to work on this.
Mate, it's all about evolving. Anyway, everyone, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Drop us a comment. Think about score predictions and all that kind of jazz. I am emotionally drained after Wednesday evening's Champions League game. I've got a hangover from it. Like you just said then, this is a massive game and we can't have that hangover. We've got to win this game.
Every game's massive now. I'm going to be...
Every game's cup final now, mate. Everyone.
I'm going to be exhausted by the end of these 3 weeks. Not only because we've got to do these videos all the blue time, but also just because it's just an emotional roller coaster. I won't be surprised if we lose to Southampton, beat PSG 3-0, and then, it's just like, what's going on?
And then smash Newcastle 5-0.
It's like, what's going on? I mean, I'll take it. Not going to lie.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I don't think my knees will take it, mate, because after the final whistle on Wednesday, I just dropped to my knees because, when that third goal went in, I just fell off my sofa onto the floor in desperation, and I'm pretty sure I've kneecapped myself. My fucking right knee's in bits.
Because you got laminate flooring, haven't you?
Laminate wooden floor, mate. Fucking brilliant. I just don't think about these things. Just bollocks. I also realised I'm 45 years old, and getting up off the floor from your knees is not as easy as it once was. Fucking things you do for the Villa. You know what I mean? I'm dying here.
Anyway, enough about Gary's knees. Yes, big game. I fully expect quite a few changes, much like there was against Forest. Probably, to be honest, pretty much that team. Like, we might just flip it around. It seems like that might be what he's doing midweek to...
You've got to give the players that played on Wednesday a rest because they absolutely, apart from Rashford, absolutely put in a shift, mate. So you've got to get them fresh for Tuesday to go again. Because the energy levels, if we're going to get anything out of Tuesday's game, we're going to have to, the energy levels have got to be higher. We've got to work harder. I don't know if we can, but to get anything, we've got to outwork them. That's the only way we're going to beat them.
Or at least just match the work rate. Like, you can't.
You've got to at least match them. But if you outwork them, mate, and we go at them, it gives us a chance. But obviously, it's managing the minutes now, isn't it? And getting. But we can make these changes. When I thought about this today, I was doing my predicted lineup. But we've actually got not a bad bit of squad depth here. And looking at the teams that we'll look at in a bit, like I was thinking, even with this team that we'll see in a minute, I think that we're more than capable of beat. They could be our first 11. Wouldn't be.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we might as well jump straight into the lineups. So, our lineups are as follows. So, this one's mine. So, got with Martinez, Maatsen, Mings, Disasi, Garcia at the back. Anana, Barkley. I think Kamara and Tielemans are going to be exhausted. Probably need a rest. You could argue you might play Tielemans. But I'm thinking Barkley's back. Use the squad.
Yeah. I think both McGinn and Tielemans need a rest. After Tuesday,
no. I was sitting there going, does McGinn play? I was like, absolutely not.
No.
What an absolute shifting. Ramsey was obviously taken off at about about 50 minutes? I think it was about.
I know it's a bit longer.
Shortly after their second goal, wasn't it? Was it 55 minutes, something like that?
I don't know, man. I think it was about 65. I'm pretty sure it was only 25 minutes to go when Asensio came on.
Okay,
I might be wrong.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking
comments because we get these things wrong.
We get these things wrong all the time. I'm thinking, I was going to say I was putting JJ there, and I was like, maybe Rashford. I was like, but Rashford did play like basically most of the game. But like you said, maybe he's not as tired. Asensio, feel like has to play. He's that little bit of quality that we'll have in the team. Watkins basically didn't touch the ball on Wednesday, so I think he'll start in front. Yeah. And Donny's on good form, and he's got to start for me. So this is my lineup.
Mate, I'm pretty sure if you look at mine, it's exactly the same.
It is. You've just switched Barkley and Anand around. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's that chat.
Yeah. So no, but I think just talking about those players we just talked about resting, I think that's important to just let rest the legs, because it would have definitely taken out of them. And we need to be as fresh as we possibly can. Like you say, Marlon is going to this game of 2 goals from 2 games. Like, got to be thinking bottom of the league. Let's bit of quality from Asensio and Marlon. And Ramsey and Watkins, we should cause Southampton problems with that attacking line.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the thing that actually, obviously thinking way further ahead, the thing that worries me is the rotation and needing to manage the minutes with for the Newcastle game after the PSG game. We won't be able to make this kind of changes potentially and win that game. So that'll be interesting to see whether he does line up the same against PSG.
Yeah,
he might not. He might go, like I said, more front foot. Start with Asensio and Rashford and Rodgers and Watkins. Like I said, maybe, I don't know. But anyway,
well, Matt, at this point, after his team selection from Forest last week, I haven't got a clue what he's thinking.
I got Scooby. I mean, I ain't judging, because he obviously knows way more than me. I lost out on £550 because I didn't trust in him. So, if I just trusted in Emery, I would be 550 quid better off. So,
mate, we got to have the faith. I'm keeping the faith. I'm a believer, mate, as what someone once said famously. You know what I mean?
But back to Southampton. Obviously, the thing that worries me about Southampton is obviously we've just had this massive kind of like mentally draining and physically draining game, both for the fans and the players.
Mate, I'm fucked. I feel physically fucked.
Yeah, I feel dead.
To be fair,
to be sitting here going, God, we're playing Southampton Saturday. I just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, I don't care. But I worry that obviously with our situation, but also this is the first game they're playing since they've been officially relegated, which means the gloves are off, like the shackles are off. There's no like pressure for them. They can do, and they've got a new manager.
Yeah.
So there's the new manager bounce. There's the shackles unleashed against a team who have just come off a really draining, tough game.
Yeah.
Worries me.
Yeah, it could be a banana skin, mate. On paper we should win this game, but as I've said before,
we should dominate.
Not played on paper; it's played on grass, and we've had an emotional few days. So I'm hoping that he can rotate the squad enough to keep us up free. If anyone can, Emery can. This is the moment. Like, this is what we've wanted for ages. Like, these fixtures coming thick and fast. Now, we said it last week, mate, on the show, that now is the week. This week of all weeks, and next week is to step up and show we can do it. We've got players coming back from injury that can rotate, so we've got to get the squad. What we need now is those energy levels, mate. That's the key, because of the point of where it is in the season. Can we hit those levels? We've done remarkably well in the last few games. 7 beaten up until the PSG game, and hopefully it's not too much of a setback, that we've taken some heart from how we played on Wednesday and can now take that to actually, because if we play like that against Southampton, we should just wipe the floor with them. They're crap. Yeah. I don't care about
we play those level, like we wouldn't play like that. We played that level. But,
just the energy levels, mate. And actually we don't have to play like that. We're not going to have to sit back and defend. Again, it'll be what I want to see, those energy levels, because if Southampton, I would assume in the first half at least, will kind of try and keep it compact and tight. And so therefore, energy levels, let's move the ball quickly. Let's kind of use that pace of Marlon and Ramsey and Watkins to get to move them around.
That's why I think Asensio has to start, right? Like we've said this before, that if you're playing the low block against us, we've now got a player that can pick that out. And if he's not going to, you've got Tielemans as well, if he plays. And that's why I'm like, I feel like if he doesn't play, you've got to play someone like Asensio. I think also, I mean, would this be 4 wins on the trot in the Premier League, you think? if we win this?
Yes, it would be. So that's Brentford away, Brighton away, Forest at home. It would be the fourth one, yeah.
Yeah.
So which brings me to the form guide, mate. If you look at this, I'm just going to get this up and you can see, but it looks pretty good. We've only lost that PSG, and Southampton's is shite.
Traffic light there. It's That's bad. Well, who's their draw?
Palace.
Oh, that's a good draw,
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. They should probably surprise. Palace probably turns that game thinking, "Oh, we're going to fucking walk the park with these." End up going 1-0 down and getting a 92nd minute equaliser. Can't do that. We've got to face the game as if it's like PSG. Do you know what I mean? Actually, and the players that are playing in that game need to go. Well, actually, I want to push for a placing against PSG. I want to play in that game. So Watkins, for instance, let's fucking mate. You've got to have a turn of form.
Come on, man. If there's a team he's going to score against, it's got to be this lot, right?
Surely.
When was Watkins' last goal? Now, I don't want to bash Watkins or anything. I actually like Watkins. I just feel like at the moment he's going through a really tough spell. But I can't actually remember his last goal.
No, when was it?
Let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments
because otherwise we'll be sat here just googling stuff.
Well, again, mate, it just shows really that like how poor it is because it's been at least 7 games since he scored.
Yeah,
if we're looking at the results in front of me. So I can't remember who it was against. I know we probably should, but we're not that kind of channel. So if you're looking for stats and statistics,
we ain't got Scooby. So we're just here for the crack.
And to talk about football, right? So
yeah.
and maybe
so anyway,
odds for this game then. So you've got home 9-2. Not exactly great.
Yeah.
Draw 16-5.
Okay.
And an away win of 8-15.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. That's not if you're a betting man, that's probably where your money goes. But if you're a betting man and actually want to make any money, then that's probably not where it goes. It'll be part of your ACCA, I reckon.
ACCA at best, mate. Don't make a lone bet on that one.
The question is, both teams to score. That's always my thing. And I've always said previously with Villa, yes. But more recently, we've been pretty tight at the back, I would say. So
yeah. Well, like in those last 6 games, we've only conceded 3 goals.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not. It's much better than it was. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's miles better. And it's no coincidence that that's being coincided with our upturning form. Like we were talking about it, and we were saying how you can't rely on us having to score 2 or 3 goals every game, and being out and trying to win those games. So the fact that we're actually managing now to keep clean sheets, and we're winning games 1-0, 2-0, those kind of the score lines, and it because the pressure's off. It's not rocket science. It was the same last season. Was it last season or the season before where Emery changed it? Something happened, and then we went on like a 10-game clean sheet streak or something. It was crazy. Anyway, on to predictions. Predictions. What am I going to go for? Are they going to score? Okay. I've just written it down. We can just show them now because there's not.
Wait there.
Oh,
we can't because my pen's not working.
Oh, okay. What was the score in the return in the reverse?
We won 1-0.
1-0.
Yeah, we weren't in the greatest of form, mate. So, but a win's a win.
I think they'd had a little bit of form when we went into that game. I think they were a little bit.
Like most teams, they came and parked the bus, and we struggled to break them down. But it was kind of them. But this one, I fancy us for this one because I think those players that are coming back, and I think Emery's got the ability to really G them up for this to kind of get them ready for Tuesday. So the players that don't play, and I'm sure he'll be talking about. What comes next season, particularly for Marlon, who can't play in the Champions League, and for Garcia to say, this is our opportunity to really fight for something, because our league place could be a possible Champions League qualification.
Yeah, this is the thing now, right? Every game, whatever competition it is in, is just as important as the others. Yeah. It's now this is why I keep saying every single game now is massive.
Yeah,
because 3 points in this game is huge because you don't know what's going to happen in the other fixtures. They might slip up. It puts the pressure on Newcastle or puts the pressure on Chelsea. We're then playing Newcastle, possibly with the ability to, go beyond them, or it all kind of hangs in the balance with these games now.
It does. It totally hangs in the balance. We need results to go for us, but and you just don't know. Like Newcastle are playing Man United on Sunday. It's at St James's Park, but you never know. Like we just got to hope. I mean, Chelsea are playing Ipswich, which doesn't fill me with joy.
Ipswich have started to play a bit better recently. They've,
but again, they're more or less down, mate. They've got very little to play for. Rory Delap's not Rory Delap, but
yeah, you're fucking hell going back there, mate.
just throwing curveballs, mate.
Call him Delap. Just call him Delap.
Just Delap, right? He's obviously trying to put himself in the shop window because I'm sure he doesn't want to go back to the Championship. So that Ipswich are probably the best out of those bottom three by a mile.
Question: replacement for Watkins?
I wouldn't say no, mate. He's caused us no end of problems. This is
one for the debate for that guy who sat in front of you at the Villa Park, where he was like, "Who do you get?" Delap. I mean,
there we go. Yeah. We've got to make these notes for when this debate comes, but that's a good shout. I think as an up and coming player, mate, if you're looking at what Emery can do with players, there's work.
I'm sure I read. It probably wasn't Delap. I do remember reading about us being interested in a young player from someone else in the league. There was the player. There's the guy at Southampton midfielder, young lad.
Tyler Dobbin.
Yeah, him. Yeah, I think
they want to slap £100 million price tag on him. Like
what? No, they can sod up. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, never mind then. Screw that. Anyway,
right, but they're not going to get that. I'm sorry, you've just been relegated. No one's paying £100 million for any of your players. No. I don't care how good they are. Like,
no, absolutely not.
But he's definitely one for the future. There'll be clubs sniffing around it because he's a good player. He is a good player. So I don't know.
Players are going to be chomping at the bit to come to Villa though now because they've seen what Emery can do. They've seen what the squad that we've got and where we're going. We're only on the up, and they've seen what he can do with players. So if they're young players, especially, and they want to improve, then
we have got to qualify for Europe though, mate, to attract these players for the summer window.
Oh God, no, of course we do. Yeah, of course
if the wheels come off and we end up with nothing, then I don't know what happens to us.
Do you think? So Champions League's difficult, like as in trying to qualify for Champions League going to be really hard.
Yeah.
Though, I feel like that's a very realistic target. Like either that or winning the FA Cup, right, to get the Europa League. I'm
hoping like games like the PSG game, if we do go out, doesn't knock the stuffing out of our season and we end up kind of
that's a little bit.
Do you know what I mean? This is about it all comes down now to the experience of these players of being able to see things out. Like we're so close to the end now that but you've still got to do it, and it could all unravel. Saying that, mate, it could be the flip side, and we could absolutely have a glorious come back with a cup and end up, finishing fifth and all that. It could go for us.
Who freaking knows? We keep saying it's either historical season or a season of almost, or a little bit.
What I do know is, mate, I'm getting bolder by the week because I'm this little bit here. Look, I'm definitely rubbing off.
Great! Look at this.
I think it's been, whatever happens, it's been a great season because
it's been eventful.
Yes, it's been eventful.
I'm exhausted. I think the thing that frustrates me so really about this season is we haven't, until now, what is it, the last quarter of the season, we haven't really got going. And it's just been this really frustrating season. And so the fact that we're actually still on the cusp of it drives me mad because I'll be like, we should be up with or above Forest. We should be like second. Like,
we've said the same old things, haven't we? In terms of leaked too many goals, haven't scored enough, but we've had the chances. Now we've had, apart from the PSG game, we won 7 on the bounce, right? All competitions, brilliant. So let's not be too disheartened by being beaten by one of the best teams in Europe, who have beat Man City and Liverpool this year, and carry on that form and believe that we can finish the season as strong as possible. Got to keep that belief. Just got to keep it.
We'll have another shot at PSG next year.
Yes, mate.
Get revenge.
I genuinely feel with this close to pushing him just to get into that next level, and if we can do that and finish the season strong, and then have a great summer transfer window, like you just next season, mate. I'm telling you, it could.
Mate,
I said that's what my hot take will be: competing for the league. But we've got to do.
If we can get Champions League this season, the signings we're going to bring in, because we know we've got that money coming next year, and the year after, because you don't get the Champions League money till next year, right? And then you don't get next year's Champions League money till the following year. So we know we've got that income coming over those next 2 seasons. Whereas if we get Europa League, then we know we've got that coming next year, but then the year after won't be as profitable. So it makes a huge difference. Right, predictions. What have you got?
3-0.
Oh, I've gone for 2.
I got for 3. I think.
What's the squiggle at the top? Was that trying to get your pen to work?
Yes, mate. Sorry, it wasn't. It ran out, and I was just little decorative purposes. Squiggles.
I thought that was the. I thought that was like how you thought the game was going to go. Like,
it's my tactics, mate. This is well. I would say that's Marcus Rashford's run rate, but it's been more of a flat line.
Just squiggly. Just go around here. Just go around here. Just go around here. That is the drawn representation of when you see a manager on the sidelines going like this.
Yeah. Well, you know when they've got a little piece of paper and they're writing something, I'm convinced it's just a shopping list, mate. There's no way they're kind of doing anything relevant. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. Let me know in the comments, managers. I'd like to see what's on that piece of paper. But no, I think after Brighton, mate, I'm confident that if we can put in a similar performance like we did against Brighton, we should beat them comfortably. And I think 3-0 is not.
Are you just talking about the last away game, or are you talking about the last game and forgetting about Forest?
No, about the last away game. So I just think our away form hasn't been
great.
We
blew them away, didn't we? We were brilliant.
That game against Brighton was fantastic, and then to follow that with a win against Forest, it's now can we do 3 games in a row? And because if we win on Saturday, it just regardless of what happens on Tuesday, you got to go to the Newcastle game thinking, okay, we're at home. Let's it's. Because if we win that, if we beat Newcastle, mate, it's game on. Like your confidence starts to build. Maybe I don't know.
If we beat Newcastle, for me, I'm like, we'll get to the FA Cup final. We will maybe beat City. Like I could feel like that Newcastle game, because unless we do something remarkable, we will be on a bit of a down from PSG. We'll be out of the Champions League. Could be that. So Newcastle is the catalyst to reinvigorate the end of our season and just go to town. And I feel like if I genuinely, like, it sounds mental. I feel like if we win that game, we could go the rest of the season just winning every game. Like,
well, mate, I've no doubt in my mind that Emery's goal is to win the remaining 7 league games. I think that's what. That's what his target will be. You know,
like I said, it's like knockout football. It's basically 7 matches.
Absolutely, mate. His experience hopefully can bring us through. Just like all I worry about, my concern is just the energy levels, because to do that, we've got to find the energy levels. And I know it's tough playing twice a week and, FA Cup football, but that's what we wanted. So now it's time to the players have got to up it. And, if anything, what Wednesday's game showed me against PSG is that there are levels to this to be achieved. Like that's what I want to see. I want to see a team that plays like. I know you could say, "Oh, they're the only ones doing it," or maybe Barcelona are. But it baffles my head that in a professional sport like this, that it's not what Paris do on the ball, which is very good, and they've got very good technical players. It's what they do off the ball that makes it happen, mate. That pressing game and the work rate off the ball. I haven't seen anything like it. I don't think I've seen anything like that since Barcelona days of Messi and.
Well, that's what I was saying to you. That's what I was saying to you on the post match, is that I've not seen. Emery's been here for what, 2.5 years now. I've not seen Villa play a team anything like that.
No,
anything like it. Even the games where, like, I remember the games where we beat City and we beat Arsenal at home, and Arsenal in the second one absolutely dominated us, and we just managed to get a goal. Still nothing like that. That game, literally, I was watching it going, I don't know what we can do. Like, I don't know what we can do. I just, what do you do?
Well, man, for me, if anything, you take from it, let's aim for that. let's try and replicate not what they do in terms of how they play, because we've got different
how
players,
they make the other team
but
feel.
how they make it happen. The pressing game, when we press, we do it as a team. When we haven't got the ball, we all work back to get it, because that's all I want to see. Because that, for me, is the winning formula for any team, like at any level. Like, and like I said, I think in the post-match one, it's why the FA Cup and lower league teams, when they play in cup competitions, can beat Premier League teams, because
it's the work rate.
It's work rate and understanding the game. But that's why it happens, because it's ultimately your desire for what you want. And now, if we can't get that from where we've been and where we're at currently, for pushing for a potential place in the Champions League semi-final, for getting to a cup final, like, it's not about the performance now. It's about the desire to go out there and make it happen and grind it out if you have to. But just outwork these teams. These are pro athletes. I'm not saying it's easy to do, but you are all on a similar playing field here. Like, most of these players that play in the Premier League, the fitness levels aren't going to be massively different. It's just about individually who wants it more. So, in the run-up, we've got to try and get. I'm not going to be too hypercritical of Rashford, because I think on the ball he does really good work, but he has got to work harder off the ball. Even if it's in the final third, like just yesterday, he was just walking to player, mate. You can't do that when you're watching post players. Fucking chase. I'm watching Dembele run 60 yards across that penalty area to close somebody down.
He's done it the past couple of games. He has, to be fair, and maybe that's the element of the kind of like slightly lazy Rashford that people were talking about in Man U. But he it's hard on Rashford. I don't know how I feel about bringing him full time. I don't know. That's a different conversation.
No, different conversation, different podcast, mate. But I think for me, if we can just get those energy levels up and we can motivate him to, to take us to that next level, because Saturday's game will be perfect for that.
Maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe that's what's going to happen on Saturday. It's all going to come falling down. I'm just gonna call it there. You got to end it on that. That's brilliant. Anyway, right. So we will be back either Sunday or Monday. Might be able to do Sunday. I don't know how Gaz's calendars are, but we're going to try and logistically work stuff out.
Yeah.
And for a post-match for Southampton, and then obviously we will have probably Monday morning going out the PSG preview.
Yeah.
We will be going the game. If anyone here sits in Trinity Road, lower, Old 10 side, if you see us, say hi.
Say hi. Yeah.
But as always, guys, if you loved it, give us a like. Give us your comments down below. Are we going to beat Southampton? Is it going to be a banana skin? What's your starting 11? And yeah, subscribe as well. We like the subscribers. What's that you got?
That's my suction cup.
Mate, that's why. That's it then. I mean, look at it. What the? I don't know what. I don't know what this has just turned into, guys. Anyway, take care.
Every week we follow the boys in Claret and Blue.
Thanks for watching. Bye.